So with where the market is now and where it's going to be, what are the obstacles that we as consumers as well as, I guess, providers need to ultimately get to? What are the obstacles to get to that future point?
Okay. Probably again two aspects. There's technological barriers and there's commercialization barriers. The technology barriers are probably the easier ones to address. So first of all, we can now add security to existing mainstream devices and applications. So taking very commonly deployed microcontrollers, we can now add a level of perhaps good enough security to those to enable at least a better level of security in those. Over time, we're seeing more secured microcontrollers and microprocessors coming to market, and that's great. And fundamentally, I think the OEMs understand that security is going to hit them and are starting to do the right things. But it's a journey, and we're not going to get there overnight, but we need to move security step by step forward. The bigger challenge often is the commercial challenge. Who's going to pay for security? Why should they pay for security? And how do we ensure a level playing field there? Again, this has been one of the key things around legislation, because we know as most consumers, we will naturally go for, if you have two products, one cheaper than the other, it's very natural, very human to go for the cheaper product. And that will often be the one without security. So the real cost is later on when your privacy is breached. So what we have to do is we have to have a legislative framework for consumer electronics, which makes sure that everything has to hit a certain level of security so that we can ensure that manufacturers have to achieve the same things. That doesn't mean security should be expensive. Our view is that good security should be associated with a product with less than a 1% increase to its retail price. That's not a lot to pay for good security. There's a lot of things to get there. We have to have the business models, and we have to have security from inception. The other side of the commercial coin is that actually good security also enables a lot of new value to be created. Instead of just having a washing machine and selling it once, and very few customers filling in the warranty form, with connected devices, they can dial back in, you can understand who's using them, and you can sell additional services and warranties and updates and managed services on top of that. And that actually has a transformational capability on the business, where the thing actually just becomes a vehicle for the service as opposed to the thing being the value itself. So that's going to be a big transformational thing. So fundamentally, the challenges are really around how we value security, how we can drive more revenue out of security, and how it moves from being a cost, a bad thing for the company, to being a positive, an enabler for the future of those organizations.